Hello, my name is Meyer Sankri. Welcome to the Forum on Proposition 8, a rational dialogue, sponsored by the San Fernando Valley Bar Association and the Lawyer Referral Service. Today we are going to have a dialogue on the topic of Proposition 8, which would introduce an amendment to the California Constitution to define marriage as being between a man and a woman. There are many interesting issues involved in this debate, and today we have a qualified panel of gentlemen who will discuss both in favor of the proposition as well as opposed to the proposition. On my far left, we have Wayne Baldwin, who is an attorney, graduated from Brigham Young University, and has been a litigator and business lawyer for many years in California, and is now a consultant to the healthcare industry. On my immediate left is Kevin Hamilton, who is the founder and principal of Amerivon Holdings, a private equity investment firm. Previously, he was the CEO of Prime Matrix Wireless. Both of these gentlemen come from a perspective of protectmarriage.com, and they will be speaking in favor of Proposition 8. On my far right is Ryan Knoll of Republicans Against 8, and he is with the firm of RSC Partners, a public relations and public affairs firm. On my immediate right is Aaron Bloom, who is a member of the grassroots organization Love, Honor, and Cherish. Aaron is graduated from the University of Pennsylvania Law School and is a member of Greenberg and Glusker, a full-service civil firm, law firm in Century City. Would like to tell the audience that this is a dialogue, not a debate. We are trying to inform the public about the issues underlying this very important proposition in California. And we are going to ask each side to have each member speak for about 2 minutes on the opening statements, and then we will have a dialogue or discussion about some of the many underlying issues that voters should consider in whether to vote in favor or against Proposition 8. To start this conversation, I would like to point out that Proposition 8 basically amends California Constitution and limits marriage to only man and a woman. Very simple wording of the Constitution. If you read it, you will see it's strictly limited to a definition of marriage to a man and a woman. Recently, the Supreme Court decided that any discrimination against same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. But this would, in effect, change that ruling. I would like to pose the following question to those who are in favor of Proposition 8. Why should Californians vote in favor of Proposition 8?
Well, thank you, Meyer. And Aaron, Ryan, good to be with you today. Let me just start with maybe a brief history of the recent current events. In 2000, Proposition 22 was passed as a statute. Overwhelmingly, 61.4% of the Californians that voted in favor of this statute, which defined marriage in California as being between a man and a woman. In May of this year, the California Supreme Court overruled that statute and basically said that it was unconstitutional, that California Constitution provided for an equality statute that said that men and women, or men and women of any sexual persuasion should be able to marry. So the grassroots organization known as protectmarriage.com circulated a petition, garnered enough of the signatures to be able to put this back on the ballot as a constitutional amendment. And so the vote on November 4th in California is to determine whether or not we should amend the Constitution to 14 words. Only marriage between a man and a woman is recognized in California. So that's the issue. I think I'd like to start immediately by saying this is not a gay issue, it's not an anti-gay issue, it's a pro-family, pro-marriage, pro-children issue. And we see this as critical to the future of our society here in California and also to the coming generations of children that are yet to be born in California.
Thank you. Then maybe I ask Wayne to pick up from there.
Well, I think the issue that we're most concerned about is the effect on families and the effect that it will have on parents to raise their children in a way that is consistent with their own beliefs and with their own set of values. And the big concern, again, is that if you look at the history of our country, we have been very careful to protect children. We've been very careful, even in areas of constitutional rights of free speech, that when it comes to children, in many instances, those rights of free speech, particularly in areas of pornography, are curtailed and they're limited. And so we believe that in this instance, we're being forced into a ideological position by the state, and a state-sponsored, in fact, a state-mandated social context that we cannot and will not support from a moral perspective. And it is a moral issue for us. So from that perspective, we feel that it's imperative that we address it. We don't feel that we can, in good conscience, stand on the sidelines. At the same time, we cannot, in good conscience, condone any hostility or any ill will towards the gay community. That's not what our position is all about.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a good introduction to why you're encouraging those to vote in favor. Now, could you give us perspective from those who would oppose Proposition 8? Who would like to start first?
I guess I'll go first. I'm a member of a grassroots organization called Love, Honor, Cherish, and our sole purpose is to defeat Proposition 8, the proposed ban on gay marriage. Now, I'm straight and I'm married, so I'm not here out of any self-interest. I'm here because I believe in civil rights, in civil liberties, and equality. That's why I'm here. I don't believe that anybody should have their rights taken away, and I don't believe that anybody should be treated as a second-class citizen. Now, if passed, Proposition 8 would ban same-sex marriage and amend our state's constitution to reflect inequality and discrimination, and I think that's just plain wrong. Two consenting adults should be at liberty to marry, period. And that right has been declared fundamental, and I think it would be unfair to extend that right to some and not to others. Now, the other side likes to cite a vote that occurred nearly a decade ago, and as we all know, opinions and times change. In the year 388, Theodosius I banned marriages between Christians and Jews, and the punishment was death. And we've gotten past that. Today, interfaith marriages are allowed in most of the world and legal in all 50 of our states. Not that long ago, we had bans on mixed-race marriages. California and 29 other states used to outlaw people of different races getting married. Well, that also has been done away with, and again, in all 50 of our states, interracial marriages are recognized. Now, domestic partners do not have all the same rights as married couples, but even if they did, the distinction in title is demeaning. Separate is not equal. I can't imagine a world where an interracial couple could only introduce themselves as interracial partners. It just doesn't make sense to me to discriminate against people and to allow some people to get married and not allow others to do so. And that's why we're against Proposition